Hello everyone and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play games in around 2 hours or less and play with vim and vigour. I'm Gaz, one of the hosts. Guy, our other co-host, he's not with us, he's doing other things tonight and we're trying something a little bit different. We're going to play a game of Call of Cthulhu, but it's one-on-one, and this is a first for me. So I've got our excellent friend Tasha from the Idea Roll YouTube channel to come along and show us how it's done. When you're not watching this channel, of course, you should always go to not only Idea Roll, but whatwouldthesmartpartydo.com and listen to the UK's premier RPG podcast, which I'm also a part of. So, welcome, Tasha. What can you tell us about the game we're about to play this evening?
Hi, happy to be here as always, and today we'll be playing a scenario from the book of scenarios called Fernflower. The scenario itself is called Garlands on the Water. And this is a book of Polish scenarios, published obviously in Poland and in Polish, designed specifically to play with one keeper and one player, which makes it an excellent choice if you would love to play but you have some troubles finding a bigger party, or if you want maybe to show the game to a friend or a partner in a more closed atmosphere. So this is one of the scenarios I really enjoy, and I hope so will you.
I'm sure our viewers will be delighted. So it's my first time trying a one-on-one game of Cthulhu, so you at home can watch this live with me and see my reaction and work out if it might be the sort of thing that you'd enjoy. We'll find out as we go along. Probably worth noting, again for our viewers, that this is a Call of Cthulhu game, so there could be some sensitive topics that come up, or horror, or all kinds of things like that. So just be aware if you're of a sensitive disposition. We're playing Call of Cthulhu, so there's loads of caveats, but we've discussed lines and veils and everything beforehand. We've got X card in play, so I can X if it gets too terrifying for me, or run off screaming, whichever. But we should be good. So with those caveats out of the way, I'm really excited about it. I'm sure you are at home as well. So Tasha, do you want to take us through the game? I'll let you begin.
I would love to. So the game is set in modern Ukraine, and Gus here is playing Petro, a young man from Kyiv who spent the last few days traveling together with his girlfriend Katerina around Kyiv in neighboring regions and towns. Probably it is something you wanted to do for quite a bit, and you're visiting more faraway locations. You've been to Vinnytsia to see the singing fountains, you've been to Umań to see the Dendra Park, and you are finishing this trip by visiting a small village of Ozerne, which is the village your family originally came from. But you've never been there because your grandmother, who left it being quite young, hated it and hated to talk about it, and basically the family did not really care. Neither you or your parents ever visited. However, you still do have a family house in there. And this day is the longest day of a year with the shortest night of a year, which is normally celebrated and called Night of Ivana Kupala. And the traditions are really lovely, and they involve all sorts of mystery ways to try and predict your future, particularly about your probable finding love or fiance in this upcoming year, also making beautiful head garlands and jumping over the fire. This is kind of a tourist attraction. It's not super well attended or popularized, but you've heard of it and you've been thinking maybe to visit for quite a while, and now the stars are finally right. You found time to go and visit. And can you please tell us a little bit about Petro? How he looks like? Is he excited about this trip?
Yeah, definitely. Well, Petro's probably mid-30s, maybe early 30s, quite tall, maybe carrying a little bit too much weight, but not too much. And he's got brown hair, kind of swept back, but kind of messy. it's one of them that looks like it's been half stale, but he never quite finished doing it. So there's always like odd strands that are sticking out away from the gel. And he's a copy editor by trade, so he's quite into words. He likes structure. He's got a very sort of like ordered sense of life. Not particularly religious or anything like that, but maybe wonders what's out there. And yeah, he's quite sensible, but like he enjoys going out on trips actually and doing things. So with his girlfriend, he went to Istanbul recently and things like that. He enjoys working so that he can live rather than living to work, if you know what I mean. So yeah, he's excited about a little trip because he knows that Katya's particularly likes spiritual things and likes, you know, anything to do with nature and that sort of stuff. So he might not be the most excited himself, but he's, you know, it's his family home and he's looking forward to it because he knows she'll be excited about it and he likes doing things for her.
Nice. Can you also tell a little bit about Katya?
Yeah, she's the yin to his yang or yang to his yin, whichever around it is. She definitely is spiritual, and she likes collecting like little crystals and things, and loves anything to do with horoscopes or the greater meaning of life and reading meaning into things, which is probably at odds to him, where he's more empirical and wants to see evidence and see the structure of things that way. So she is quite fun. She's, you know, they're kind of well matched even with the differences. But she's about sort of 5'6", long sort of mousy hair, quite pretty, not overly so, and dresses quite naturally as well, so isn't overly concerned with putting too much makeup on or anything like that. She just kind of is as she is and goes with the flow.
Nice. And also, was it your idea or hers to visit your home village at the festival of Garlands?
It's something I've been saying that I'd do for some time. Yeah, we should go back and look at the old home and stuff like that, but not really got around to it. And then she excitedly showed me last week, look what I found, and pulled something up on the laptop and said, like, it's the festival next week, that'd be the perfect time to go, wouldn't it? And knowing that there was probably no way out of this, he kind of went, yeah, that'd be great, let's do that. and try to show a similar level of enthusiasm that she's got for it.
Sounds about right. So you've been driving for quite a while, and you got almost late for the ceremony. Since Katya learned about it online, there is no website or anything advertising for it, so probably she just found some blogger or someone posting about, oh, look, there is this very nice place which I visited, it was lovely, it was pretty, I can recommend to a friend, and she decided to go. Something kept you busy during the day. What was it? Did you decide to spend more time in the other location, or was someone busy too long packing their luggage?
Well, you know, Petro he can get quite obsessed with his work sometimes and sink into that. So when he spends time with Katya, he tries to, you know, put the extra bit of effort in to make it worthwhile. So he'd been thoughtful enough to pack a little picnic. So he got a wicker basket and packed it with all that kind of like nice treats and expensive bits and pieces to put in there, all the good cheeses and things and chutneys and what have you. So when they found a nice spot along the way, something that caught her eye, he said, oh, why don't we pull over and just... She said, but there's nowhere to eat. Why would we stop here? So don't worry about that. So yes,
very nice.
Got out the blanket by a lake and had a nice picnic and popped a bottle of fizzy wine.
Sounds lovely. However, it did take some time, so you got to the village almost to the dusk. But you know that there is still a second day. Probably you will see the pretty ceremony in the evening and then some more attractions the next day. You parked your car near the house. The village is not very big. You had the directions, maybe spend some more time finding the exact spot. You did not even have enough time to check out the house itself because Katya was dragging you to the lake. Obviously there is a large group of people and something is going on, and probably this is the festival you were aiming for. And you'll check out the house later on. You are going down to the lake. You see that there are dozens of people, most of them dressed in nice, authentic, white clothes called vyshivanka, which are the shirts and for ladies dresses with ethnic embroiderment. Very similar to what I'm wearing. However, theirs is white. And there is a separate crude wooden table with some herbs and flowers, and people are making garlands. Actually, a lot of them already made or are finishing their garlands, but there are still a few. You can definitely identify some other tourists as you because they are dressed very differently, but people are enjoying themselves, and everyone who would like to can make a garland to participate in the upcoming ceremony. I believe with what you said about Katerina, she would be excited to go and try to make a garland. Would you join her?
Yeah, she'll be delighted. And, I won't be. But I'm delighted that she wants to do it. I'm less enthused about making one myself. So I'll sit with her, obviously, because, why wouldn't I? But I'm going to employ my usual tactic when there's something I don't want to do and just do a terrible job of it. So I'm going to start making the world's worst garland until eventually she goes, give it here, and starts to make mine as well because I'm making I was like, I'm more used to a keyboard. I'm not used to this. You're much better at crafts than I am, and I'll use my usual ploys to get her to do it for me.
Nice. So yes, basically she made 2 garlands for you and herself. You can see that most of the people are already done. Some younger ladies are putting their garlands on the head and dancing some little very delighting dance, like folk dance, and later everybody is going down the lake, and probably the older man who looks kind of weird at you. You definitely noticed that he was giving you some looks, and he is standing on a small, maybe stool or something. He's like, okay, everyone, I'm very happy to see all of you here, and now is the time to start the garland ceremony in the evening. We will all send our garlands to the lake and see what the fortune tells us. So people are going in small groups to the shore and putting their garlands in the water, and the lake is quite calm, but surprisingly the garlands, they do not stick near the shore. They flow over the water towards the center of the lake, and I suppose you join to put your garlands on the water together with everyone else. And
I mean, imagine Katya's already run like straight to try and be first to be involved with it, and I'm kind of hanging back with the other awkward tourist men who aren't like just here because they have to be almost or whatever. Like, so I'm kind of looking sheepishly at other men who are dressed like I am and not in the traditional gear, and kind of like just queuing up slowly to take a turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's probably also making pictures on his phone.
Right.
Pictures of his girlfriend with a garland. Maybe it's a good idea for you to do too.
I'll take the Instagram photos so she can do the thing.
Yeah. While doing that, you notice that the network coverage is very poor here. Definitely no internet. But you have the signal.
Oh, well, at least work won't bother me while I'm here. That's something.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to make a psychology check for me?
I would be delighted. However, I fail.
Okay. So you are standing together with a group of other people on the shore, enjoying the view. This is actually really very beautiful while the sun is sitting down and there is like a pinkish color of the skies, which is also reflected on the surface of the water, and there are these flower and herbs garlands on the water. Very, very pleasing view. And then at some point, the garland, which was made by Katerina, rapidly goes under the water. How does she react? Is she sad about it? It did not swim very far away.
Yeah, I imagine she turns around and pouts in my direction, like there's something I can do about it. And I'm just kind of I'll try and point out to I'll give a mine which I probably haven't put in the water by now and say, and I'll try this one. Like, I know you do much better with things you do for me. This will probably be much better.
Okay, so you're giving her another one.
Yes.
Okay.
To try and take her mind off the bad omen of one sinking immediately, which doesn't sound good to me.
You do notice that people look weirdly at you. However, they do not oppose, and she sends another garland. And so there is like a group of most of the garlands far away on the water, and then the last one
Just
also
the
slowly following the bigger group. But people are not so interested in it anymore. They are starting walking away slowly, but not really away from the lake. It's just that their attention is not so focused on the garlands anymore. And I would give you another psychology roll, which will not be a push because it is used to possibly identify, or maybe not.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you out, Keeper, so that you're not constantly trying to ask me to make rolls that I continue to fail. I'm going to spend 8 points of luck to make that a success.
You might want to keep your luck for future.
I've spent it. Alright.
Okay. If you said it, it happened. You do notice that people around you, most of the people around you who look local, dressed in ethnic clothes, definitely not the tourists, look at you kind of weirdly, giving you this strange looks with sort of suspicion and maybe even jealousy. And you can tell that they are taking this ceremony quite seriously, not as a festival and something nice and cheerful to do and forget in 10 minutes, but rather something very important for them.
So I'll select one of them. I'll look at probably an older lady. I think they're maybe a better target is the wrong word. A more approachable person maybe is what I'm thinking, because they normally like to chat to other people. And I'll just go up and greet her and all the rest of it, and kind of I'll say, I'm from this village. Effectively, my grandma was from here. Perhaps you knew her, and I'll mention her and just try and ingratiate myself a little bit with a local, so that I'm not seen so much as an outsider.
Well, yeah, but probably you will not have a lot of time to talk to because you're greeting her, and actually, while you were looking for someone to talk about, you saw that people sort of stepped to the sides, and a little old lady is coming forward towards you, and maybe she was already coming to you, and you're making a step forward and introducing yourself and trying to be nice and polite, and she looks at you with this heavy gaze, nods, and you suddenly hear that there is like silence around. Everybody is eager to hear what is being told, and she says, "Here is the one chosen by the Lady of the Lake. When the sun goes down again, he will go to her temple to serve her. Rejoice, witnesses of Hydra, for the lake blesses you again. Tomorrow the prophecy will be fulfilled on this shore. May Father of the Sea and Lady of the Lake guide you." And while she's telling it, she's definitely pointing at Katerina as the chosen one, chosen of the lady. And as soon as she's finished, like, there is a murmur in the crowd, and everybody is looking at you. How do the two of you react to this attention? It's almost like being elected as prom king and queen or something.
Well, from Petro's point of view, this is probably the worst thing she could have said, because Katya's going to absolutely love it. Like, in her dreams, this would be the sort of thing that happens, that you go to some little faraway place you don't know anything about, and it turns out that you're the prophesized one, and she had a strong feeling about this, and she's got a crystal in her hand that she knew said this thing would happen today, and all that kind of stuff. Petro's just a bit more awkward now, because he just wanted to speak to some nice lady separately just to kind of like fit in, and now everybody's staring at him and he's not really used to the attention. So he's kind of hoping that Katya will act like a lightning rod for the attention, take it off him, but she obviously comes running up to hug him and kiss him on the cheek and stuff and talk excitedly about what's going to happen. So he's found himself awkwardly in the centre of attention despite what he wanted.
Yeah, she's definitely the center of attention now. Yeah, people are looking at you, and their perception probably changes a bit. There are more little smiles, and then there is this little kid who is coming towards this grumpy old lady, and he's like, you should tell them about the legend. She's the chosen one. She needs to know. Maybe she doesn't know. And I imagine Katerina is quite interested in the legends.
Yeah.
And the old lady goes like, well, you are the chosen one, so you deserve to know everything. You're not from around here, so probably you do not know the prophecy. Once every 10 years, the Lady of the Lake chooses a special person who will go to the underwater palace to keep her company at her royal court. And in return, she keeps our crops and flocks safe and sees us healthy and grants us good fortune. This is a big honor, young lady, and this will bring joy to all of the people of the village and lands near it. And the little boy goes like, tell them about the flower. Tell them about the fern flower. You can go to the woods to look for the fern flower. At which point you are probably a bit confused because you do have a bit of a nature knowledge, and you are pretty sure that ferns do not have flowers.
Well, it is just a child. It's like, oh yeah, maybe we can pick flowers tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be a nice thing to do.
No, you have to go at night, because this is the only night when this flower actually appears in the woods. You cannot find it any other time, and it makes your dreams come true. And the old lady looks at him and sort of says, yes, this is true, despite the fact that being a chosen one is a great honor, and the Lady of the Lake will grant one wish of the chosen one before he or she joins her in the palace. But if you choose to stay in the world of living, you can try and find the fern flower in the woods and present the lady with the flower instead, and then she would let you go. However, looking for a flower is a very dangerous quest. Many have tried and failed. Someone never returned from the woods. Others came back with their sanity shaken. Do as you must. You have a day to finish your earthly things, earthly obligations, and to prepare for the travel to the palace.
Yes, we do only have a day. I have to be back at work on Monday. You're quite right. And of course, Katya will be like, oh, we have to go and look for the fern flower. It's like, yeah, but maybe not right now. So there's a little bit of a sidebar with me and her, like, not quite arguing, but she's obviously excited by all this and wants to go and find the thing straight away. And I'm more thinking, I want to know where I'm sleeping tonight. And like,
well, yeah,
that kind of
right.
thing.
You did not even see them.
So maybe we should go check out the house first and then maybe go looking for the house, the flower.
Maybe.
So I'll present that as like, probably thinking that by the time we've got Eden settled, maybe I can put her off this idea of traipsing around a dangerous wood in the dead
Sounds
of night.
about right. Well, the people start dispersing slowly. There are some murmurs, but you can see that this was obviously the highest point of the evening. You do notice the older man who was announcing in the beginning, still giving you sort of weird looks. And yeah, give me an intelligence roll.
Intelligence.
Or education, whichever you like more. If you
I'm
remember.
much more excited about education.
Not
Extreme
very smart,
success.
but very educated.
Well, I'm not dumb, but I'm better educated.
Well, you suddenly realized that probably this is the head of the village who was actually looking after your family house while none of your family was here for like a good generation.
Right. Well, looks like I'm going to have an awkward conversation with him then about my house that he's maybe been living in. So yeah, I'll leave Katy to kind of like chat to a few people and do a thing.
Yeah,
as she
she's
likes to
probably quite excited.
Take some photos and whatever else she wants to do, some selfies. And yeah, I'll head over to see this older man and introduce myself to him, thinking maybe now as we're chosen ones or whatever, that I might have a bit of cachet with him and he might be a bit more receptive.
Well, he's quite friendly. He would greet you happily, and indeed, this is Vasil, the head of the village, who was looking after the house for you, for your family mostly. And he's like, "Well, you finally came. Nice to meet you. I made sure that your house is fine."
Well, that's incredibly generous of you. I'm glad you could do it. It's just things have been really busy in the city. I know you're probably very busy here as well, but you know, we just had quite a lot on. So I mean, it was glad that we could finally made it, and on such a special occasion with this, we were grateful to take part in the local community as well. Yeah, we should be here a lot more often now.
Good. It would be really good to see this house lived in again. I kept it well, but it does lack people living in. Seeing that it was built by your ancestors, it's a shame that no one lived there for quite a while. We would be all happy to see you back in the community.
Sure. I mean, I might have to split my time between here and Kiev, but yeah, definitely like spend more time here. And you wouldn't happen to have a spare set of keys, would you, by any chance?
You actually do have a set of keys.
All right, good.
Since it is your family house, and they were probably stuck somewhere far away. Maybe you actually found them because your grandmother just recently passed away, and you were taking care of her belongings, sorting her things, and you found, among other things, the keys from the house. Maybe this gave you an idea to finally go visit.
Could be.
But definitely he has a spare set of keys if you want to take it from him.
Well, if I had some, then that's fine. I won't bring it
Okay.
up. I'll just thank him, and you know. So we'll best check out the house and you know settle in.
Yeah, sure, and yeah, you have things to take care of, you know.
Yeah, what with being, you know, my girlfriend being the chosen one.
Yes, a great honor. And
Yeah.
he sounds like really serious about it.
Yeah, okay, well, country
So
folk and their strange ways.
We will see both of you tomorrow at the same time at the shore, right? This is very important.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, sorry, we were a little bit late. We just got stuck on the way here. Traffic, you know what it's like. But yeah, as we're stopping overnight, we'll be here super early tomorrow.
Okay, but by the time sun sets down, we will meet at the same place at the shore. Everybody will be waiting for the two of you.
Guys, is there... And I'll kind of look down at my check shirt and jeans and stuff. Is there something... I don't know, maybe is there some clothes we should be wearing or something? It feels like...
Oh, no, don't worry about it. The main thing is for you to be here to finish the ceremony.
But if we're part of the ceremony, I feel really out of place. If like, I mean, I don't mind so much, but for Katya, she needs if we could find her a dress. Maybe one of my grandmothers would fit her. Maybe there's something in the house still. We'll sort it out.
This is a great idea. So if you really want, we can find you a proper gowns for both of you.
Yeah. I mean, she'd love it. So yeah, just make sure you get hers.
Of course. I'll ask around, and by tomorrow you'll have it, so that you will be all nicely dressed.
Well, wonderful. But thank you so much for looking after the house. I no doubt we'll speak again
of
tomorrow.
course. Of course, yes. See you tomorrow. And with that, you go to the house. This is a one-storied house in a very traditional way with white walls and straw roof, but it's quite large. Obviously, a family used to live here. It has 3 bedrooms, and it's quite old, but well looked after. You can definitely say that no one's been living here for years, but someone was coming to check on the house, maybe make some small repairments if needed. And likewise, the furniture and everything else looks quite retro.
I guess it's like vintage or something like that. I guess.
Vintage, yes, yeah. Vintage, like rural style vintage,
Very
but
rustic.
really nice. Yes, so you can settle in. You can see that there is even a small fireplace with some cozy armchairs near it, and the whole house is decorated with lots of photographs.
Okay,
What
well,
would you like to do?
I'm gonna. I mean, yeah, getting Katya grounded again might be a little bit of a challenge. There'll be a few minutes of that, so I'm gonna try and. I'm gonna get her to sort of see if she can find something to eat. Maybe it's been a long while since the picnic. Obviously, got a bit of food, but if there's something in the house or just wants to organise something, I say I'll just go and make sure everything's secure and stuff. So I'll leave her just setting up a nice little evening for us, and I'll go and just check everything, make sure. Everything does seem in order, because I have been places before where someone says they've looked after something and that means they've not looked after it, they've just left it as is.
Well, yeah, obviously, since no one lived here, it's not the same level of taking care of the house, but you see that some efforts were made. Something could have been better, something is just growing old with time, and there is no way of repairing it, just only replacing it. But generally it looks solid. You can definitely spend a night or stay for a week or 2 if you wanted, but if you do intend to live here for a longer time, you need to do a lot of sort of renovations and adjustments. While you're checking all of it, you think that I don't know, do not know if you're normally allergic, but looks like you're coughing a bit, and it's a bit hard to breathe. And also you have this little rash on your palms. It's a bit itchy. Maybe it comes from the garlands you spent some time trying to make earlier today. Maybe it's from taking all of these old things while you were looking on the state of the house.
Sure. Well, I'm going to try and gather up. I mean, there might be a little bit of a medicine cabinet. She might have some, I don't know, chamomile lotion or something tucked away, or something I could perhaps use. But if not, I'll just try and gather up. You mentioned there's photos and things like that, so I'll try and get some photos of my grandmother, because I like Katya. I love her to hear about my family and more about me and stuff like that. So if there's any like nice little things I can get or ornaments she particularly likes, I'll try and collect a few so I can tell a little story about my family.
Okay, so this sounds like 2 intentions. First, you can ask her for help. She definitely knows a bit about first aid.
Okay, yeah, well, help me. I liked all pathetic and go, oh, I don't know what's happening. Oh, it's really itchy.
Yeah, it's a success. Probably she will have some balm in her first aid kit to help you with the rash. And also she notices that there is another spot of red rash also on your neck, probably a bite of a mosquito or some nasty rural bug. I don't know, are you used to, are you mostly like a city dweller, or do you travel to the woods and rural areas too?
I mean, mostly city. I say, if we go off for holidays, it tends to be a city break somewhere interesting rather than hiking in the mountains or anything like that. So yeah, it's a bit. I'm not totally out of my comfort zone, but it's not something I do all the time.
Well, there are definitely much more insects in the air here in the village than it is in Kiev, and you have some bite or something, which is also itchy, but she covers it with balm too. Yeah, the photographs also look interesting if you want to investigate this further.
Sure.
I mean, you did not lose any hit points, so basically the balm is just nice cooling effect on you.
Good to know.
Yeah. Would you like to make a spot check for me?
I'll be
while you're looking
ecstatic.
at the photographs.
Hard success.
Oh, hard success. This is interesting. So both of you are going through the photos, maybe slowly moving along the wall with all of them. Family photos, and not only family, some of them are like group photos, and most of them are quite old, made long time ago. They're black and white mostly, and in more new ones, you think you recognize your grandmother from from when she was way younger, and you're not sure because you never saw your grandfather or great grandparents, but it looks like that there is the family, the man and the woman, and your grandmother, and a young guy near her, and then they emerge again on several photos on different times of year. You can definitely see a story there, and on your hard success, I would tell you that you also notice that people in the photographs, mostly local villagers, look kind of similar to one another. They have some clear facial features that they share. You thought that you look a lot like your mother and your grandmother. People are looking at two or three of you, could definitely say you are of their blood, but now it looks like that maybe it wasn't just her individual legacy, but more something common for the village, maybe some specific phenotype. And people have like small ears and quite large, beautiful eyes. You also notice that many of them are wearing small pendants, which actually draws your attention, and you would expect to see crosses in this place, and all of a sudden it strikes you that you did not see a church in the village, which is a bit odd. And you're trying to look closer at these pendants on their necks because almost everyone has it, but the quality of the pictures is very poor, so you cannot really make out of what sort of pendant or necklace it is. But while you're trying to investigate it, you're trying like different photographs, Katerina actually tells you, oh look, I think that this probably is some old great grandparents or something of this wise lady of the village, the one who talked to us today. And she shows you one of the pictures. It is like a group picture, and there is indeed an old lady who looks very similar to the old lady you saw today. The resemblance is striking.
Uncanny. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it's the same old woman, and we'll have a good laugh about it.
Well, yeah, it's probably just the low quality of the photos. But it's remarkable how similar they are. Probably her family was also here for years.
Yeah, well, you know what these small villages are like. There's just people are marrying the cousins and whatever, and
yeah. Well, this probably is not very healthy, but also sort of cute.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I'm glad I've met you, who's not from the village, to be honest.
Yeah, obviously.
And for many other reasons, not just that reason, but
yeah, so what shall we do in the evening? Should we go to the woods to look for the flower? Should we probably, I don't know, look for proper gowns? Do you think it is okay if I go through the wardrobe?
yes, I mean, sure. Of grandmother won't mind. She's not with us anymore, I'll say, trying to make light of it.
I'll be super careful with everything, and yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, I have asked the nice man who's been looking after the house to get us some proper attire.
Oh, that is so kind of you. So thoughtful.
Wow.
I'm really excited, and I mean, this really brings good luck and good fortune.
Yeah, I'm sure I can see it in your aura. Definitely. Okay, you're just glowing now, and I'll try not to sound too sarcastic, as I say, so I can get away with a slight joke.
There actually is a sort of glow on her face, and she looks even more excited now than she was near the lake, which probably makes you happy. If she's happy.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Do you mind?
Go for it.
Okay. So she's probably going through very carefully and with all respect through some of the older things in the house, and actually you do find some older clothes, and she even finds a shirt for you, which probably might have belonged to your granddad, but it doesn't really fit. She's like, that's a shame. It would have looked so nice on you. But maybe this old man will find something for you. Instead, she's like trying on a few dresses, probably your old grandma's dresses, and they look actually stunning on her. What are you doing while she's trying on different outfits? Are you helping her to look for stuff, or are you just sitting there? Nodding.
I mean, I probably want to see what else there is, so I'll be looking through old drawers and things like that. There might be old letters, or there might be documents or something about a family that'd be interesting, or just old bits and pieces. There might be something that Grandma collected over the years, which would be the sort of thing that she would like, that I can pick out for her something. There's just have a good look around everything to see what there is, because I've not been here for so many years. Who knows what's hiding away in a little cupboard somewhere.
Okay, so then please give me a spot hidden roll with a bonus die for being so specific about what you're looking for.
I mean, even without the bonus die, I got an extreme success, so...
Probably cannot get better.
I think that's as good as it's going to get, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, maybe you were also thinking about some bits of the family history, saying that it's your first time in here, and this is your old family house. The photos were quite interesting. You do find some older documents. Most of them are not like super exciting, being like home accounting papers and stuff like that. But among other things, you also find a small carton box with what looks like to be an old notebook, a diary.
Well, this will be very interesting, I'm sure.
Well, probably your grandma would not be against it, since, as you said, she's not with you anymore. I'm opening you a few handouts with the diary. Would you be so kind to read it out for us, or would you like me to do it instead?
I will give it a go. I might not do old lady voice. It might be my own voice, but...
Well, she did write this diary when she was younger, so if you can please do it in a young lady voice.
I think what I'll be doing is perhaps not realising immediately what the content's going to be. I'll just be reading it out to Katerina as she's trying dresses on and things. I'll be sat on a bed going, look what I found. So, March the 12th, 1965. I'm sure now. It's been a long time since my last period, and I've been vomiting a lot this past week. I don't know what to do. I would probably make a good mother, and our lady is happy to have any offspring. And I'll probably think twice about reading it aloud anymore and go quiet until she sort of encourages me, like, oh, what do you do? And she'll flop down on the bed next to me and get me to read it out, continue reading. On the other hand, I'm not sure if Hristko is ready to be a father. And what about our plans? We wanted to travel a bit, to see the world outside of our village. Cherniv, Kiev, anywhere. Sooner or later I'll have to tell him. April 7th, 1965. I finally made up my mind. There was no point in hiding any longer. My belly would be visible now. And this romantic idiot was so happy. Oh, how happy he was. A stupid smile would not leave his face. He said he would immediately quit painting and find a proper job to provide for me and the baby. Does he think I'm made of glass? After I give birth, I'll work too. Maybe in a bakery in Verbny. My parents are happy about the baby too. They did warn me that we have got to get married, so the neighbouring villages wouldn't gossip. No one here really cares about church superstitions, but we don't want anyone to start suspecting. We'll have to organise a decent wedding. We'll stand in the waters of the lake and swear our vows properly. And I'll look across at Katrin. She's probably looking at me, imagining a wedding in a lake. And all of a sudden I start to get a bit nervous.
Yeah, Katya is actually sitting near you with a very calm smile on her face, and she says, "Oh, this sounds so nice and romantic. Vows in the lake."
Yeah, that's one day. As I say, quickly flipping over to the next page. June the 4th, 1965. The baby's kicking already. I don't know if it will be a girl, but I feel it. Every day it becomes harder to walk. My ankles are swollen again. Hannah can't stop talking about going to the wreath ceremony. She's hemming my dress like mad. Hrisko is also excited about the ceremony, so now I have no choice but to go. He says that we're supposed to be able to lay wreaths because we haven't taken the oath yet, but I'm sure he just wants to see me knee deep in water and with a flower garland upon my forehead. Ooh, there's a second notebook, I say, pulling that one up.
What's in there? She did not write very often, did she?
No, I mean, I'm skipping over some of the stuff that's not very interesting, to be honest. Oh, this one looks good. June 22nd, 1965. Oh, what's happened here? No, it begins. Why? Is it because we delayed the oath? Or does Lady of the Lake not know that he is mine? Or maybe that's why she demanded him. But I carry our child under my heart. She can't take him away from me. It's a nightmare. Hrisko seems to have come to terms with it. He says that there is nothing we can do, that there is only one day left. There's no point running. My mother told me about a stupid girl who tried. The only thing we have left is the fern flower. I'll try to persuade Hrisko to go together. Maybe the madness won't touch us. I'm worried about the child, but we can't be left alone. Why didn't Hydra choose someone else who wished for it? Are there not enough people in the village? October 7th, 1965. This is my last entry. I will leave my diary here at home, in that cursed place where every corner reminds me of Hrisko. The small pier where he kissed me for the first time. The apple tree at the crossroads where we used to look at the clouds. The waves on the lake which he always was struggling to draw. It's a slow torture, and I don't want to live in it anymore. Fortunately, the child is healthy. My dad says it's a blessing from Hydra. This is bullshit. My daughter would have been healthy and had a father, if not for the soulless monster at the bottom of the lake. I'm never coming back here. Never. For the rest of my life, I'll remember Hrisko's terrifying smile when he went into the water. When we sent him off into the depths. That monster whispered to him, promising something. He was always delicate. But every time I try to remember his face, I see only empty eyes and a crooked smile, and his last wish, that terrible dream that I hope will never come true. I will never set foot here again, and neither will my children. This place is cursed.
As you finish reading, you look up at Katya and see that she is still sitting there with a sort of same smile. Oh, your grandmother seemed to be quite selfish, didn't she?
Well, we've not got the full context of what she thought, have we? Because there's just a few entries in the diary.
I would still ask you for a sanity roll.
Sure.
The possible damage dependent if you believed any part of what's written in there.
Can you spend luck on sanity rolls?
No, you
No,
cannot.
I think it's more fun if I failed anyway. So I failed my sanity check.
Mm-hmm. So before I give you the damage, what did you think about reading this diary?
That's got me concerned. I'm not a particularly superstitious person, but there's clearly there's a warning. Like, the people here aren't necessarily good people. From is what my reading between the lines is. My grandmother moved away and never come back, as she promised in 1965 at the end of this thing. So there's a reason for that. A thing at the bottom of the lake sounds far-fetched, but there is some reason why she didn't want to be here anymore.
Okay, then I would say it's just 1 point of sanity damage for you. There is definitely some tragedy behind all of the story. And you do know that your grandmother raised your mother as a single mother. She was never married, and she never met anyone after your granddad left her, or she left him. You're not really sure. She was not really talking much about it. And yes, Katya is still there, and she's holding your hand, and she's very calm. Usually, maybe she's more excited, and she definitely was at the lake shore. And yeah, she says, "Well, I believe this is really nice and lovely. Me becoming a chosen one, and I get to meet the lady of the lake, and it's nice."
Yeah, and you have to pick the special fern flower or something.
Do you want to go and pick the fern flower? If you really want to, I can go with you.
I think we should just go and get Teddy. I'm getting something keeps biting me. I think there might be dust mites or something. It'd be nice just to get the air.
Yeah, and you're scratching your neck, and you realize that there is more Russian there, and sort of like, you would say a scar, or maybe scratch. Definitely not an insect bite. And it's itching really bad, and when you're touching it, you can feel it's a bit wet. It's maybe the blood just comes off when you're scratching it. It definitely got worse, and the same with your hands. As soon as you realize that something is itching on the neck, you're like gonna, like, this rush is coming back.
Well, I do know a bit about the natural world, so I probably know about things like dock leaves or milk thistle or stuff. So there's probably some like natural. I'm thinking there might be things I can find nearby, herbs or plants, or that might help a little bit. If it's some kind of allergic reaction, there might be something I can find if we just have a little look around. So that's going to be my sort of rationale for going into the forest and having a look around, and hopefully I can get a better read on Katya's reaction to things, because she seems to have gone a bit funny. So maybe the night air will waken her up a bit, and I can work out what's going on.
Okay. You can go outside, give me a nature roll.
Natural world?
Natural world, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a failure.
Well, surprisingly enough, you're not able to find any particular herbs you would expect to find here, but maybe this is because it's getting dark already. You do notice that the stars look very bright as compared to the night view in the city, where there is a lot of light pollution. But in here it's really nice, and there are these crickets, is it? The night ones singing, and well, yeah, it's nice. And
well, I'm going to suggest pushing the roll with at the risk of maybe getting lost a little bit or something like that. Or is it something you'd be open to?
Sorry?
Is that something you'd be open to? Or is it not really worth pushing at this point?
No, I wouldn't say it's worth pushing. You're looking for something which might have caused an allergy, right?
Yeah, but also like this fern flower while we're out here, might as well look for that.
Okay, then I'll double check. Are you going deeper in the woods, or you're looking in the areas where you've been already?
Yeah, we'll go a bit deeper, as long as I think I can find my way back. I'm pretty confident like that.
Okay.
There's always Google Maps, I'll say, forgetting that there isn't much signal and I probably can't use Google Maps, but... It's been a busy day.
Okay. Then Katya is following you, sort of sheepishly and being more quiet than usual. If you address her, she responds calm and with a smile, which probably starts worrying you more than making you happy, because she does not look exactly herself. Well, she still looks satisfied. And as you're going deeper into the woods, you are paying attention to what's around you, and at some point the sounds of the evening nature fade away and they're replaced by the distant croaking of frogs and drips of the water, and instead of moss, the tree branches are covered with something resembling a sticky coral mass that shimmers with a greenish blue glow. The branches almost completely obscure the sky, and you're trying to find your way in the darker wood, but it's a bit complicated walking in the wood at night. And also you're...
I want to go back now. Don't like it.
You'll do what?
I want to go back now. I'm scared. I don't like it.
Before you do that, I would say that your itching is getting worse on your hands and neck, and you are unconsciously scratching it, and then you notice that you're scratching it and you try to stop yourself doing it, but it's getting worse and worse, and yeah, maybe it needs to you need to make a better look at it. And then when you're turning back to walk back, Katya stands there with a smile on her face and says, "So, do you want to give up? We will not look for the fernflower, and I will go to the underwater temple to keep company for the lady of the lake."
I mean, you do realise you're not actually going to an underwater temple, right? We're just going to stand in the water a bit and say some words and things and take part in the ritual. You're not really going to live at the bottom of a lake, right? And I like half laugh nervously.
And she just looks at you and smiles calmly. If you say so.
Well, I know you have your funny beliefs, but are you okay? Have you been... Like, we haven't really drunk much or anything. You seem a little bit spaced out.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm happy to do what you want me to do. I'm happy to go to the lake, but I do know you love me, and I do understand if you want to stay with me and give the lady a flower instead of giving me.
Yes, that would be better. But look, there's something wrong with my neck. Can you see? Maybe if we head a little further back where the starlight's better, you can take a look at it, because I think I'm bleeding. Oh, yeah. And she's looking around, and you're finding a clearing in the woods. And as you're looking around, you maybe become even more nervous, as I will ask for another sanity check while you see in the clearing that the constellations visible above your head are unlike anything you have seen before. And there are twisted trees bathed in pale light, and fireflies flickering in the distance, and some mist of a weird color is swirling, almost like a living thing on the edge of the clearing where you are standing. And you cannot help but continue itching your neck. It was a failure. Okay, so it will be a 1d3 damage to sanity for finding yourself in a mysterious wood. 2 points.
And while you're standing looking in the skies, Katya has a good view of your neck, and you're still unconsciously itching your hands, trying to stay away from the neck. And she touches gently your skin, and her fingers are nice and pleasantly cold compared to your hot skin. It is a summer night, and you've been walking a bit in the woods, so this gives you some relief while you are trying to pull yourself back together and find some rational explanations to all of the weird things happening in the woods. And meanwhile, Katya is looking at your neck and says, "Oh, I'm not sure what this is, and I don't think I can do anything with it right now. Can you turn your head? I would need to have a better look." And as you're turning, trying, to turn your head like to the side to give her a better look of the neck, you feel a abrupt pain in the neck, in the place where you've been itching, and you are sure that there is a wound opening, and when you're putting your hands towards it, you can say that there are actually not one scratch as it used to be before, but 3 going in parallel, and take 1 hit point of damage as these things on your neck are painfully opening up, revealing something very similar to gills. No, that can't be gills, right? I would ask for another sanity roll for seeing a weird thing emerging on your neck before we go on a break.
I'm not happy about that.
Not happy. That would be a D4.
Another 2.
Another 2, and I would let you think about how you react to all of that metamorphosis happening to you in a magical forest.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. Don't worry, viewers. We'll be back in no time at all through the dark sorcery of editing. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. And welcome back, everyone, to Unconventional GMs. We're taking a nice trip out into the Ukrainian countryside. What could possibly be nicer? We'd happily gone to a little flower festival, it felt like, and then visited my grandmother's house and just gone out for a little walk in the woods to try and find a few things to pick, maybe a flower or 2. And things have got decidedly strange. So, Petro's thinking there must be some kind of hallucinogenic. He's got these strange rashes. Katya seems to be acting weirdly. He's heard toads and seen bioluminescent slime and corals and all kinds of weird things. Obviously, he's had a very bad reaction to something, and he's starting to see things. And the best thing he can think to do is to get back to the house. And because he's got a moment of temporary insanity, or whatever the correct phrase is, he doesn't really think about his girlfriend. He thinks, like, I've got to get back to the house. So, feeling the wound in his back and the strangeness, he's just going to start like running headlong through the woods in the direction he thinks the house is.
Okay. Would you like to give me a luck roll?
Sure. Glad I didn't spend a lot of luck earlier on a random roll. That's quite a large failure.
Not a fumble.
Not a fumble, importantly.
Okay. Then I would say that you will get back to the house. However, you're not sure where Katya is, since you did not pay a lot of attention, and it did take you quite a while. You did not spend a lot of time going into the woods, but trying to run back, it was a long run, let's put it this way. But finally you find yourself at the shore of a lake, and you do see your grandmother's house not far from here.
As I gather my wits about me again, having reached exhaustion, sort of sank down on my knees, breathing heavily and going like, oh, don't worry. I said, don't worry, Katya, we're here now, we're almost home. And then turned round to see the dark eaves of the woods staring back at me. and get a very heavy, sinky feeling in my chest. Gotcha. Also, like, well, presumably only to be answered by crickets in the darkness.
Yeah, and some frog singing.
Well, I can't do anything but try and go back and find you. So I'll start by talking quite normally, and then I'll just get more louder and more panicked as time goes on, like calling out her name and trying to find her in the darkness.
Okay, let's take another luck roll to see how successful you will be, or spot check if that makes you more happy.
Yeah, I'm better at looking for things than just relying on fortune.
Oh, are you? Are you?
That's when I'm in my right state of mind, which I'm not currently.
Well, I would say that you do spend a good portion of night, unless you want to push it, or spend some luck.
Yeah, I don't have that. I'm not that lucky. There's no way I can spend that.
Okay.
But yeah, I will push. It's the love of my life. I'm not just going to like leave her in some strange wood that I took her into because of a moment of weakness. So I'm just going to like really start searching now. Like, even though things are like tugging at my clothes or whatever, I'm getting scratches and tripping over roots. I'm just going to like really try a lot harder to try and find it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still fail. Well, at least it's not a fumble. It's just a fail.
Well, it wasn't fumble the first time too.
Yeah.
Failed push roll is not a good thing for you either. You and stumbling, and you find yourself stumbling in the woods, calling out for Katya, going through some undergrowth, bushes and stuff. Luckily, the woods are not so scary anymore. You still occasionally see the weird light coming from the trees, and this weird fog forming almost a wall in front of you, which you're trying to probably avoid. It still scares you, and you do not succeed. The luck is not on your side, and you are very tired and disappointed since you did not find Katya. You are coming back out of the woods on the dawn. The daylight is coming back slowly, and to your surprise, you do see Katya sitting on the shore, looking peacefully into the waters. And what would you like to do? You are quite tired and exhausted. You've seen some strange things in the woods. You did not find any flowers.
No. Well, ferns don't grow flowers. Even a 6-year-old child knows this. So I'll rush up and collapse next to her and sort of like grab one of her hands in both of mine and say, "Oh, God, you're here. Katerina, I thought I'd lost you in the woods. Like, I've been looking for you all night."
What are you talking about, silly? I've been sitting here for most of the night, just looking at the water.
Well, that explains why I couldn't find you in the woods, I guess. But
right.
Look, there's something wrong with my back. We need to. Let's go back to the house and perhaps see if there's I don't know if there's a doctor or there might be a vet, a midwife, anyone who can look at the wound I've got. It's not healthy.
Okay, if that's what you want. Are we abandoning the woods?
I mean, right now the woods are the last thing in my mind. I need to get myself seen to by someone, by hopefully a medical professional, but at least someone who can stitch.
Well, yes, this is very logical. Also, you think you need to think more about where you go and, all of these branches around you. You got yourself hurt. Who will take care of you when I'm gone? We have to come with a plan. You have to be more careful.
Yeah, but you won't be. Yes, well, when you're gone, I mean, yeah, whatever. Like, let's try and get myself looked after, shall we? At least get cleaned up.
Of course. Okay, you go to look for a doctor or a vet.
Yeah, well, initially we'll go back to the house and I'll just get clean up a bit and try and look at what's like with the cold light of day in a mirror and stuff like that. I'll try and see what's happening.
Well, you are now pretty sure that these are gills opening on a right side of your neck.
That's not good.
That isn't.
So yeah.
Your palms continue to give you trouble itching, and after you're done with inspecting your newly discovered powers, shall we say, and change and maybe wash yourself after the night in the woods, you cannot help but notice that first of all you feel very, very relaxed while showering. It really brings you peace and comfort. And second of all, when you're dressing afterwards, you notice that in between your fingers there is more skin than there used to be.
There's some kind of psychoactive substance or something. I definitely need to see someone who knows more about this than I do. So once I've got dressed and stuff, I'll be desperate to find someone to go, like a doctor or something. There's got to be someone in the village who can help.
Yep, sure. There is, probably not a doctor, but a vet would be there. And it's early morning, but I mean, it's village, so people are probably up already. And this is an old gentleman with a nice mustache, and he sort of looks at you with squeezed eyes, and you understand he probably needs better glasses. But he's sort of kind, and he says, "Oh yes, what is it? Did you go to the woods at night?" And he's talking sort of really loud, even though you're near him.
Yeah, I'll say yes. Yes, as I think I've hurt myself or something that I'm bleeding.
No, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And here I can recommend you this the herb compress. It will ease the pain, and it will help you with your state. And he does not look surprised at all.
Visitors normally get some. Does you get this a lot?
No.
But you seem quite relaxed about it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Really?
You want to do a psychology roll?
I don't think I need one, but I'll roll it.
I mean, it depends on.
I think my suspicion. Can go. Yeah, I don't think I'll be fine. I think he says I'll be fine, but
no, he is actually quite confident that you will be fine. He is not concerned about your well-being. He definitely saw stuff like this before, and he does not think that this is a big deal. But
he's not concerned enough about my condition for my liking, is what the problem is. I understand that he feels comfortable, but I feel uncomfortable with how comfortable he does not.
He does not lie to you about you being fine. At least he believes you would be, but he is lying about that he hasn't seen anything like that before.
Sure. Okay. Well, I don't think he's going to do anything else for me, but I've got something to give me some kind of relief at least.
Well, he does make you this herbal compress. It's nice, and he tells you to keep it near your neck, and maybe even helps to try and fix it around. It's sort of hard, so you need to go under arm to set it fixed, or alternatively you can just spend some time holding it and then remove it. It does ease pain a bit.
I've got this itching in my palms, and I seem to be getting eczema or something, or I've got the skin's going funny around my fingers. There's something like it's just itches terribly. Is there something you can do for that?
Oh, your young ones are so fragile. You'll be fine. You just need to wait a little bit. Maybe try to take a bath or maybe swim in the lake. The water, it's good. It would clean your skin and your thoughts, and just wait a bit. It will get better.
Go for a swim in the lake. Isn't like the lake full of like frog spawn and algae and insects and lava and
You're a city kid, right? Okay, you can have a bath or shower. That will help too.
Good. Well,
you do remember that water did make it better.
I kind of resign myself to the fact that there's like a vet in a 2-horse village isn't going to like give me much better than this. This is like the level of expert medical care I can rely on right now. So I'll thank you for his time and offer to pay or whatever, and then I'll head back to see my girlfriend. And when I get back to the house, I'll presumably find her just staring out the window at the lake or something, and not particularly.
She's quite enthused about several dresses and shirts which were delivered while you were gone, and
right.
She's trying different ones, trying to figure out which she likes more. And then when you're back, she's excited, but sort of in a calm way, saying like, "Oh, look at this! They did find some outfit for you too. You should try it on. Maybe we can go for a family look."
Yeah, and I'll spend about 5 or 10 minutes sort of placating her and making her a cup of tea, working out how I'm going to broach the subject, kind of tapping the side of the kettle as it's boiling, thinking, I don't know, this is going to be an awkward conversation, but I've just got to go for it. And when I go back in, I'll say, look, I know you were really looking forward to this ceremony and stuff, but I've got quite a bad injury. I saw like the vet, and he said there's nothing he could do. I needed to go to a proper hospital, so I think we might have to miss the ceremony. I think we have to go. Yeah, so I mean, it's very nice of them to give us these. I mean, maybe we could keep the dresses as keeps and maybe come back next time or something, but we probably just need to go to a hospital or something right now.
Well, give me some social roll. It could be persuade or charm or frost talk. Probably not intimidate.
No. Trying to be charming and wheedling and stuff like that. So I will spend a single point of luck, please.
You can sure do that. And she's like, well, okay. We might go to the hospital in another town down the road and maybe make it back by the evening. What do you think?
Yeah, we might do. Yeah, let's see what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take care of you and then come back. We still have plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll have loads of time. It's not like we're gonna. I mean, maybe we'll stop for a picnic by a lake again. But we'll have plenty. It'll be fine. Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
I'll get myself dressed and stuff, and head out.
First of all, you try to start your car, and you fail. It goes like brrrr. And when you check the vehicle, you do find that somebody messed with the battery. Do you have any mechanical repair, or I think it could be electrical repair too?
Very little. I've got drive auto is the thing I can do. Fixing them might be it.
Well, drive auto would be a hard success if you want to try that. To try and fix the car.
That is still better than trying to repair. So I'll try a hard drive auto to see if I can fix it. No.
Oh no.
Nowhere near. I have no idea what's wrong with it.
Well, I guess you would have an idea what's wrong, but you're not sure how to fix it.
Well, that's disappointing. I'll say with my hand on my hips, staring down under the open bonnet. Maybe.
And Katya is sitting on the front seat of the car, waiting patiently for you to fix the car and go where you want it to go.
I'll sort of like peer around the hood of the car and say, I think we might have to try and get a taxi or a lift from someone. Maybe someone can give us a ride.
Okay.
Okay, good. And at the minute, Petro's thinking, well, she seems quite happy with everything so far. So he was expecting more of a fight at some point. But while she still seems quite compliant, he's happy to keep rolling. So he's going to try and find someone, or see if there's a local taxi or something like that, or someone will give them a lift.
Well, obviously, most of the people around have some sort of vehicles. Another option is a bus, but you would need to wait for it for some time. Which do you prefer?
Well, if I have to wait for a bus anyway, what I'll do in the meantime is try and get someone to get me to drive it.
Okay.
And if they don't, then I'll ultimately get the bus.
Fine. Then, surprisingly enough, despite the fact that you see the car in every other yard, everybody has some reason not to give you a ride. Someone has a car down, someone is just needs to go on his own business and cannot help you. So you end up waiting for the bus, which arrives on schedule, and it only has a few people in there. By now it's about noonish, and yeah, you get to the bus, and you are going towards the neighboring village, and then further on to towns and cities. However, the further away you're getting from Ozerna village, you're probably feeling relief, as you said, and also Katya was not really mad at you for wanting to leave. At some point, she starts coughing really hard, and she cannot stop it, which already worries you a lot. Do you want to do some sort of first aid check, or?
Sure. I think I can spend 3 more luck to make that a success.
Yeah, people in the bus are looking awkwardly. They're like, is she okay? Is that COVID?
No, it's
Are you
not.
vaccinated?
Yeah. And I've had my booster. Look, she just needs some water. We're on our way to hospital, I'll say, like, completely truthfully.
Okay. And while you're trying to tend to her, you cannot help but notice that her skin is quite hot and wet. And she definitely has troubles breathing, but you manage to put her in like sort of position where she is more comfortable, and it looks like more air is going down her lungs. She's better for a while, but then you leave next bus stop, moving further away from the village, and her cough comes back even worse, and at some point she turns down and you can see that she is coughing out what you first thought was blood, which made you really nervous, but at the second look you understand that this is a very dark, almost black water which might come from a swamp or something else. And she cannot talk even. You are sure she is sitting in a bus near you. And before you continue, I would ask for another sanity check.
Yeah. Success.
Well,
I mean,
was it the love of your life, really? I mean, she'll be fine.
You see, it's entirely different when it's happening to someon else. When it's happening to me, I'm very upset about it.
Well, I would say most of the people in the bus are like trying to keep the biggest distance from you possible.
We'll obviously get off the bus at the next stop, or whenever it's convenient to do so.
Well, I would say that this is a matter of emergency. If you want to, you can ask the driver to stop like in the middle of basically nowhere currently, or you can risk it to another stop.
Yeah, I think I can't. Like, even if we had to, I'm not sure we could walk back at this stage. So we need to get somewhere where there's someone who can help us get back if we wanted to. So I would gotta try and like keep her comfortable until we can get to a reasonable stopping point.
She passed her constitution check, which will give her some more strength. However, you do see that with every kilometer you pass, she is, her condition is getting worse. You do get back on the next bus stop. What do you do?
So what are we, like, at a town or a village, or
it's another village. Actually, probably Verbna, your grandmother mentioned in the diary.
Okay, well, I'll put her to one side with a bench or somewhere where we can sit her down or something. I'm going to try and find someone who can help So I'll just start knocking on doors if there's no one immediately about, or if there's a little local shop or something like that, I'll go in there. Or I'm sorry, my girlfriend's really unwell, I need someone to help me, and I'll sort of like just start rushing around trying to find someone who might be able to help.
Okay. Then you leave her on the bench, and you're running around, and instead of finding a doctor or a policeman or someone like in charge, you only manage to find the first one is an old lady, and she looks at you. This is one of the few amusements she can have in here. And she's like, what's wrong? And if you try to find help, she gets really worried look on her face, and she's like, oh, you're coming from the Garlands festival, aren't you?
Yeah, and there's something, she's having a really bad reaction to something, and I'll be honest, so am I don't feel good at all either.
Well, you seem fine. Well, her, I mean, I've seen things like that. I was really young, and another young man was trying to bring his fiancée out of this Ozerne village. She was coughing black water all the way. And you know what? He took her further to Kiev. And I hear she died on the way. Drowned.
Really?
Now you can check for yourself. Bad things happen in that village. You better keep far away from there.
Well, that's what I thought as well. I'm not gonna like look forlornly over at my girlfriend, coughing.
Well,
and choking.
as long as you're not coughing out water, you're fine.
Oh right.
Yeah, you can see that more water is out of Kait's. She's like trying to breathe, and it's really complicated for her at the point.
Okay. Well, maybe there's some kind of local remedy. Maybe we have to go back.
I don't want to make another sanity check.
Success.
There are a lot of small ones. Yeah, probably at this stage you're already in like troubleshooting regime.
I'm in solution mode. Okay. I'll ask the nice old lady if there's a taxi or something that could maybe take us away. Or when the next bus will be or whatever, I'll just try and get us away.
Well, the buses are not very often, but yeah, she'll go off to try and find someone. But before she comes back, you see that the local police car is stopping by and saying like, "Are you all right? Do you need a lift?"
Yeah, my girlfriend's not well at all. We need some
Oh
help.
no, I can give you a ride back. We have like, well, not a doctor, but a quite capable vet. Better than nothing, huh?
Yes. Any port in a storm. That's very generous of you.
So you jump in the car, and the cop brings you back to familiar already Ozerne village.
So I'll chat to the policeman on the way back and ask, are you from around here? Did you grow up in the village? Things like that, and try and get a sense of what he thinks about all this and what might be going on.
Okay. Another psychology roll on the way.
Success.
You're so good at it. Yes, he is from around, and you can clearly guess from the way from his looks. As I said before, many people in the village have similar features, and since you're sitting in his car not far away from him, you cannot help but notice this distinguishing smaller ears, large eyes, and pale skin. And it also seems that he maybe has some I forgot the word. On the back, when you're sitting a lot like that, you have
hunch, yeah.
Yes.
Hunchback.
But otherwise, yeah, he tries to be friendly, but you do feel that he is nervous and suspicious around you, and he answers in a nice manner. But you can definitely say that he is trying to guess what you would like to hear from him and give you the answers that might calm you down. On the other hand, you do notice that as you're getting closer and closer back to Ozerna village, Katya is getting better. She is still very pale. She's definitely been through a lot, but at least she can breathe now. You can say you can tell that she has probably a fever or something, but yeah, at least she's breathes. She's breathing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the cop will say like, she'll be fine. That's probably just a lot of fresh air. You city guys are not used to it. She just needs to rest a bit, and yeah.
Yeah, we all need to rest a bit.
Yeah.
So there's this festival they have. Is this every year?
No. Well, yeah, the festival is yes, every year. Yes, every year.
But there's only a chosen one every now and again.
No, every year there is a chosen one, and he definitely is.
Right, but as long as someone's chosen, it doesn't matter. Like, say the chosen one, but if someone goes into light, that's fine, isn't it? As long as somebody does.
Well, with the traditions, if the lady chooses someone, she wants this someone, right? It's like, this is why there is a chosen one. You should come in the evening and check it out on your own. I'm sure she will feel better by then. See, she's better already. There is a blush back on her cheeks again, and she's probably napping on the backseat, now feeling finally better after everything she's been through. Do you have an itch of guilt thinking what you brought her into?
No.
No? Okay.
Because she was going to die. So I'm at the minute I'm trying to work out, I'm like, Petro's still thinking of like, how do I get out of this kind of thing? Like, obviously that first thing didn't work, but now at least she's not dying and coughing up black marsh water, so that's an improvement. But like, he's thinking, we've still got time. It's not night time yet. We've still got time. So he's desperately trying to think of what he can do that's going to help.
Okay. While you're doing that, the policeman brings you back to the village, and you get to see the kind veterinarian again, who once again assures you that everything will be fine, and you just, need to wait. And you cannot help but notice that when you're getting back in a cop's car, there are people like eyeing you from behind their fences.
Yeah,
and yards.
When we go and see the vet, though, I'm actually gonna be a bit more hard with him this time. So I'm gonna act like it's all just, there's something wrong with my girlfriend as well. And then once we're in there, and there's just us and the kindly old vet, I'm just gonna like slam my hand down on his desk next to him and say like, "What's going on? Don't tell me if this will be fine. Look at the state of her. She's been puking up black marsh water. She's been throwing her lungs up. I thought she was going to die. She couldn't breathe. And you're going, oh, give it some time. She'll be all right. She won't be all right, will she? What are you going to do about it?"
That sounds like intimidation roll.
I think it does as well. It's a failure, so I'm going to push, because why wouldn't I at this point?
Okay, what do you do to push? Because now he's like, what are you talking about? Look at her. She's fine. And she actually looks so much better, as if nothing happened.
So,
she's like,
yes.
Yes, I'm better. I'm sorry I made you go all of this way there and back. And she's mumbling like,
yeah, Katya, it's not your fault, it's his. And I'll just proper open hand slap him across the face and shove him into a corner and stand over him going like, you're going to tell me what's going on or you're going to suffer, and there's no one to stitch you up. So we'll try and push. No, fail again. Of course I do.
Okay, then what happens is while you're slapping him, the door opens, and you can see a pair of like really fit young village men saying like, "Don't you harm our kind doctor here. You do not know what you're doing. You do not know what you were chosen for." And well, yeah, they would probably engage into a brawl.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel very upset. I'm just gonna So I'm just going to... what I'll do is, I'm worried about Katya, so I'm going to stand in front of her to make sure that she doesn't take any harm or whatever. I'm just going to try and fight him off and you just protect her.
They're definitely not interested in her. This you can see. I mean, not interested in harming her, at least.
Sure.
Okay. They are going to attack you. What do you want to do? Fight back or...
is there I can't remember if there's a defensive stance or something like that. Can I just try and protect myself rather than...
That would be dodge.
Okay.
You can either fight back or dodge.
Yeah, just dodge then. I didn't know there was an extra option, but yeah, dodge it is then, I guess. Which is not particularly successful.
Well, they're not successful either. Let me check the second one. Oh, the second one is. He would go for fighting maneuver, so instead of inflicting damage, he will try to knock you down.
I'll crumple to the floor.
This is sort of holding your hand behind your back, making it harder for you to move. Basically, grappling. You can roll for strength if you want to break free.
No, I'm going to appeal to their sense of ritual. I'm going to be saying, this is how you treat chosen one, is it? What if something happens to her? Is this what the lady would want at the lake? What do you think will happen if something happens to me? What will happen to you? Then what will happen to your village? We just want to go home. Why don't you just let us go back to our home?
She's the chosen one. She cannot go home. You can. Lost blood. We thought you were coming back, but apparently you're not.
Well, my
so run away if you want, like your grandmother did. But the chosen one stays, and in the evening she's joining Lady of the Lake in her palace.
Grandmother's house. That's what I meant by home. Just down there, down the street. Why don't you just let us go? We need to prepare.
You had all the time you wanted to prepare. You tried to leave.
Well, something was wrong with me. I just needed help, and she insisted on coming with me. Like what? It'd be a shame if something spoiled the ritual because you young foolish men can't behave yourselves.
Fine then, we'll escort you back to the house.
Well, good.
Mind you, you're free to leave if you want to, but she stays.
It's very nice of you.
Well, they would actually escort you, holding you by both arms to the house.
And I'll be
and
shrugging around just with bad grace.
Like, are you okay? I'm just And with her, they are much more gentle, and they're like, yes, please, we are sorry we had to be so rude, but it was his fault, and now we were going back to the house. Would you like to go there with him? Or otherwise we can walk you to the lake or somewhere else. Maybe he needs some time to calm down. And she's uncertain, like looking at you like,
Katya, you need to look after me. We look after each other.
Oh yes. You have this. Yes, I will help you. Of course, I'll wait with you. And they're like, okay, if that is what you want. And they leave you in your grandmother's house. Though you have a feeling that they are somewhere nearby, keeping watch.
Sure. Okay. Well, Petro definitely needs time to think, so he's going to go and have a bath.
Okay, you are feeling slightly better while you're taking the bath, despite the fact that webbing between your fingers is growing thicker. What would you like to do?
So he's going to. Yeah, I'm gonna look at, once I've bathed and stuff. I'm gonna look around the house and see if I can find any other notes or anything that my grandmother left. Because there must have been. She left, so there was something she did, and she sounded regretful in her diaries. So it feels like there was something more she could have done that she didn't. So,
would you like to roll for intelligence or education again instead of
I
going
would
for
like
spot?
to roll for those in a different order with education first.
No, it's either or.
Yeah. And,
Okay. Now
That
my
pass?
cat is trying to grab the dice. Yes, it is a pass. So you do remember that she said that the only way that her fiance, with whom she was not married yet, was chosen, and then apparently something happened to him. They tried to go to the woods to look for the fern flower to save him, but they failed. And apparently, from what she wrote down, he was gone. They failed to find the flower. He was gone. She gave the birth to a healthy baby girl, and afterwards she left to Kiev and never came back.
Okay, we'll get ourselves dressed in the appropriate village attire, and I'll be, just pretending like everything's fine, and we're going to go in the evening. And we're going to go for a walk around the village, hand in hand, carefree, just walking around the village, no panic, just gently. And I'm going to try and search out the young boy who spoke to us last night. Try and get hold of him, or just like be able to speak over a wall to him or something like that, to try and see if I can find out if he knows. He seems to know more about this fern flower and other things. So if I can perhaps find him, I might find a way of finding the key out of here, is my thoughts.
You do find a little boy, and he does tell you the legend about the fern flower. However, you cannot help but notice that the young villagers, not so young as the 6-year-old boy, but the ones who escorted you from the vet back to your house, are following you, and they are not even trying to hide themselves. You are also eyed by pretty much every villager you pass by. You do find a little boy, and he is happy to tell you the legends about the fern flower, which flourishes only one night a year, and this is the shortest night of the year, the only chance to find it. And it is so rare and special, it can grant a wish. And
so
yeah, but you
not
can
2
only...
nights then, just the one night. You said.
Yes, one night, and it's deep into the day now. So he is very happy about telling you the story and all of the details, and maybe some stories about someone who tried to find it, but no one succeeded yet.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the story he tells you. And if you're trying to go to the woods again, you probably will not be led by the villagers. You can try to fight your way out if you like.
No, that's right. Thank you for the kind offer.
I'm very generous,
It sounds like it needs to be the night time anyway, and we've missed that window. So,
well,
okay, we'll head back home then. And I'm going to. I've got a keepsake that Katya gave me, which was from Turkey, which was the evil eye, the charm of protection. So I'm going to make sure that she's wearing that. I'll be saying like, oh, you need to wear this, but it's very important that you have this on, and then you'll always be thinking of me and stuff like that, like just in my desperation thinking that might protect her or something, and then in a more pragmatic fashion, as we sort of like getting ready, I'll get a kitchen knife or something, like get some sort of weapon that I can have with me. Not quite sure yet what I'm going to do, but preparing myself.
Well, you can surely find some knives in the kitchen, or maybe an axe.
I mean, it might be a bit conspicuous if I'm walking around with an axe, but I'm fairly sure I can hide a couple of knives about my person. I think
something I carry on me for self-defense purposes.
In case anyone needs chopping, I'm just... Yeah, so I'll grab a couple of knives, yeah.
So as the dusk comes down, you are exiting the house. You look really nice together in all of the gowns you found and the villagers gave to you. And you can see that there are villagers with torches waiting for you outside. There is a whole little crowd and they form a procession, Katya being in the middle. If you want to accompany her, they will not oppose.
Yeah.
And yes, they form a little circle around you and you walk quietly to the lake, down to the shore. And the night is nice, warm and cloudless, and the air is filled with the sweet smell of flowers and soft buzz of insects. And the lake is also very calm, and its surface is almost like a mirror. It reflects the stars, and yes, you are walking down to the shore, and you can feel that there is an atmosphere of joyful anticipation. Everyone is dressed in white, sometimes decorated with little floral garlands, and yeah.
I'm going to walk with them, looking probably increasingly nervous, but I doubt people are paying too much attention to how I look, and I'm staying as close to her as I can as we get down towards the shore.
Okay, do you give a closer look to the folk around you?
Yeah, and I'm particularly looking for a woman of a similar age or features that might be nearby.
Okay.
Apropos of nothing.
Give me a spot hidden roll meanwhile.
Sure. Success. You do find girl of a similar age and with similar features, I don't know, length of the hair and style. Since everybody is dressed in white and so is Katya, it's sort of pretty similar. While you were looking for your candidate doppelganger, you also had a chance to have a better look at the villagers, maybe also because now they are not disguising themselves so well as they used before, and you do notice that many of them also have very similar things on their necks, the scars or the gills if you like, and here and there from beneath the shirts you can see the pieces of scale shining in the light of torches, and at least one of them even has something similar to fin on his back. Would you like me to give a sanity check? No.
No?
But I will anyway. Success!
Okay, you're fine.
I've resigned myself to this.
I will just continue. Feel free to interrupt me if you want to do something.
I will at some point. You carry on.
You do see the old lady who initially greeted Katya when she became a chosen one, and she's sitting near a quite big fire on a little bench, and she has a torch near her, and she stands in front, raises her hands in the air, and you see that the scales are given this metal shine, and they cover all of her hands now that long sleeves do not hide it anymore. And a moment later, words in an unfamiliar language burst from her distorted, fish-like mouth. And nevertheless, you quickly begin to understand their meaning, almost instinctively. It's like they sound in your head instead of your ears. And she says, "Brothers and sisters, may the adored Mother Hydra, the Lady of the Lake, the Lady of the Deep be praised. We, like our ancestors many centuries ago, have come here to witness another wedding. The hostess has invited our blood, our bodies, and our souls to a joint feast in her underwater palace. She has blessed us with health and protection, and in return she only requires a companion to go with her into the unknown. So let us go. Let's not keep Mother waiting. And everybody is murmuring, sort of supporting, like, yeah, that's right. And people are, the whole procession with you in the middle are going towards the lake, and you see that the first people to stop on the lake, someone is walking inside, someone is diving right in, and
Right.
quite quickly you find yourself ankle deep in the water. People...
And that's when I produce a knife and I grab Katia close to me and say, I love you. And then as we sort of pressed against each other face to face, I'll hold the knife kind of across, so it's across both her necks to one side.
Oh no.
And say, we're leaving this place together. Are we dying here together? What's it going to be? And I'll like stare out at the crowd and say, let us go, or there's going to be no chosen way, one way or the other.
They are looking at you with fear, and especially the old lady, and she says, "You fool! She cannot leave this place. You tried already and you saw what happened. She is claimed by the Lady of the Lake. Either she dies here on the ground, or she joins Our Lady in the underwater palace. There is no in between. You can go down with her. Maybe you can talk to Mother Hydra. After all, your granddad was one of the chosen ones too, and his wish did not come true just yet."
What was his wish?
"You better talk about it with the lady, and better not keep her waiting."
Thou shalt be waiting forever. Tell me what I want to know, or it all ends now.
"He asked for his blood to join her in her palace. You are his blood, his only blood. Maybe she will be kind enough to accept you instead of her."
Let me just make myself a roll. No, unfortunately, I'm not man enough. So I will say that neither of us will go, and I'm going to draw the knife across her necks to try and put an end to this horrible situation.
Meanwhile, roll me for power.
Sure. Success.
Okay. I also have a success, but I'm sorry, I'm not rolling from the character sheet because I did not put it to the roll when I have it in the book. So I have a success, but yours is, since it is a tie and you were defending, this will be in your benefit. Before you go, you lean to use the knife. You can sort of feel as cold fingers almost getting under your skull and going through your brain, trying to wield you down to her will. You're sure that this is old witches trying to influence you to take her under her control and make you do things she wants. But you successfully fight back this power attack, and you can do what you initially planned to do. Are you killing her?
Both of us. I'm just going to look into her eyes, and those blue eyes that I've always loved, and say, forgive me. And I'm going to put an end to it here at the lake shore so that nobody gets what they want.
Okay. The last thing she manages to say to you is, if that's what you want to. Surely there is a large mess on the shore. People are rushing towards you, but they're not quick enough, as the lake waters are colored in blood, and you are standing there on the knees with Katya in your hands. And your next move is to take your own life, to leave this place together with her, one way or another. And you would not know that, but the villagers were very disappointed, to say the least. There wasn't anyone to look at the scene, but at some point all of the villagers would pick up your dead bodies and go down the lake. And the lake is much deeper than anyone could anticipate, and there is an old temple built of dark stone on the bottom, where they would meet their goddess, who would be not pleased with them. And their village will not have luck and protection they used to have all these years before. For another 10 years, all of the possible failures and diseases and dead crops and flock followed this village. Maybe in another decade the things will change, but this is another story to tell. Thank you for the game.